Hi guys, so sorry about not doing my video last week, and I will actually be really quickly reviewing the reason for that, and that is this pile of textbooks. The classes that I'm taking right now are abnormal psychology, which this textbook, I actually really like it, and I really like, everything that we've been doing in the class, but it's a lot of intensive reading, and some of it's really depressing, and there's this big chapter on suicide, and it's very upsetting, and there's these big sections about like children with all of these disorders, and it's kind of upsetting, and so that's not really that fun. Global studies, also depressing, talking about how we have too many people and what are we going to do about it, we're all going to die, and how people are starving everywhere and everybody has AIDS, and it's just upsetting. And chemistry, which you can't see it, chemistry is actually, I thought it would be the least favorite, but it's actually my favorite class, because it makes sense. I've been really working hard for it to make sense, and it's just one of those kind of classes where you just plug everything in where you're supposed to, and as long as you're thinking about it the right way, then it'll work out for you. So that one has a lot of actual just problem sets and things in the class. So that is what has been consuming my life, and why last week I ended up just not making a video. Plus, I had to work, and it just kind of went crazy, and I didn't really know what to do, so I just kind of backed out. So sorry, if you need to punish me, go ahead, but here's my formal apology anyway. I'm gonna just try and get through all of these questions if I can, because I have like one, two, three, four, five, six questions and one thing I want to address quickly. So we'll go through that really quick. The first thing I want to address, hang on. I just want to show you all my ukulele too, since we reviewed ukuleles, and I really love mine a lot. And like, it has a dolphin, and I've had it for 2 years now. 1 year, 2 years, I can't remember. I got it for Christmas one year with you know, the amount of money I had saved up at that point. I was like, I need a ukulele. So I went and got it, and it's one of the favorite things I've ever bought. So my question is, Kaylee, have you named your ukulele? Because that's very necessary, and I would really like to know that. Now, to answer everything else, I have two questions from Logan, actually. The first one being about my bucket list, which I put together a quick one, and this is probably a weird one, but one of the first things I thought of is I would really love to see Tarzan in like a big screen, like in a movie theater, anything like that. I would love that. I really love the movie Tarzan. It's one of my favorites, and I think that that would be a really fun experience. That was my phone if you heard that. Two, I really want to paint a mural, and I was going to paint one actually right here, of the TARDIS. I was going to paint on my wall, and I was gonna like put Bad Wolf on the side, and I thought I was gonna be like the coolest ever, and my mom said that I wasn't allowed to because I'm not going to be here forever, and it's really hard to paint over dark blue, and you have to paint over it a bunch of times. She just said no. So that kind of ruins that for so far, but maybe I'll be able to paint one later. And the third thing is the same as Mia's, which is that I really would like to go to Europe sometime. Probably the same sort of areas as her, except I would really like to um, go to like Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales, Denmark-y type stuff. I think all of that sounds very pleasant and just like something I would really like to do. Plus, I know people in all of those areas, and it would just be really fun. My Magus, that it's like one of those things where you read it before you hear it, and then the way you have it in your brain is just a certain way, and you just can't break out of it. Yeah, that's how I am with this word. I've decided that mine would probably be a fox of some sort, because I foxes are quiet, but I feel like at least the stereotype of foxes is that they're very cunning and they're always thinking. And I feel like that combination is really cool. And I mean, I have the red hair even though it's fake, but um, I could be a sly little fox sneaking around, and they're so cute, and they have such big, adorable ears, and they look so soft, and I would love to be a fox. So I think that's what I would be. Um, one food my entire life. That was a hard one because I kept thinking of sort of categories of food, and then I kept feeling like if I actually ate that much, I would probably die or be sick, and it's just not good. So, ignoring all practical reasons, I was stuck between either just pastas, because all pastas are good, and fruits, basically, which fruits is way too broad of a category. So I've narrowed it down to either eating all grapes for the rest of my life or all watermelon. Maybe I could just eat melons for the rest of my life because I don't think that I've met one that I don't like because they're all so great. And like me and my dad ate an entire watermelon in less than an hour once. I mean, sure, I'll eat watermelon for the rest of my life because there's a lot of water in it and I don't drink enough water. So that could actually improve my health. So I choose watermelon. Um, Favorite holiday tradition. That one was a little bit tougher for me to think of because there was no specific holiday, and to just try and think of something out of the year, I don't tend to do the same thing every time. Um, I guess what I thought of when you said it, at least, since it's around Halloween. Something I do on Halloween is I usually watch a lot of movies, and I tend to stay up and you know, that sort of is a tradition, but it's a very non-specific one because I don't specifically watch movies with my friends or go see a movie or watch a movie at home or anything like that. But um, I try to watch, a stereotypical scary movie on Halloween, and quite frankly, I feel like that's enough, and I really enjoy doing that. Uh, so that's the one I could think of. As far as other ones, like we go to visit some of my family in Seattle every year for Christmas, and I really enjoy that also to get to see them because I see them once a year, and it's usually snowy, and we get to go and hang out, and they have a really big tree, and it's always nice and warm, and everyone's all happy, and like there's a huge table that we all sit at, and it's just really friendly and nice, and that's I guess that's a better tradition, but I'm not gonna edit this, so just pick the second one. Tattoo limits for the army. I think that's ridiculous, quite frankly, to have to limit something like that. I thought that the army was loosening up a little bit, realizing what's actually important instead of, judging people on things. But apparently not if they're thinking about doing this. I feel like even if you want to have a tattoo on your face, that doesn't change who you are and what you're doing. And I think it's kind of ridiculous to make such a big deal out of having any sort of tattoo. I mean, whether you're hiding it underneath your uniform or not, it I don't know. I just don't think that it should matter. But I do agree that if it is able to be concealed by your uniform, that probably is a benefit just because you'll look, I guess more sharp in your uniform, but I don't think it should really matter. And my last question to answer, I think this is the longest video I've ever done. The last one I'm answering is what drink would you be? Specifically teas. So I only drink one kind of tea pretty much all of the time, and that is peppermint tea. And sometimes I'll drink other mint teas, but I usually drink just peppermint. And I put a lot of sugar in it, and it tastes like peppermint candy because I'm kind of one of those people who doesn't drink tea or coffee unless there's a lot of sugar in it. So I drink either peppermint tea with a lot of sugar, or I drink for coffee with a lot of um, flavor in it. Like white chocolate mochas are really sweet, and they're probably my favorite coffee. So um, I think out of those, I'm probably more of a peppermint tea if it were going to be what I am. And peppermint tea makes me think of snow and blankets and happy things. So those are some of my favorite things. So I think that I would be peppermint tea. And I was going to get back at all of you and try and come up with a really complicated question that you'd all have to answer that had like tons of parts. But quite frankly, I'm exhausted. This is the first time I filmed at night also. So, yeah, I'm gonna skip out on that and maybe I'll have a really good one for you guys next week. or this could just be my punishment for not putting one up last week, is having to answer so many questions all at once. So, yeah, I guess I will see you guys next week. Yeah, bye.